Hello and welcome to the penultimate episode of the regular season of the Gem City Gridiron Roundup podcast. As always, I am your host, Dalton Van Pelt Scotch on the sidelines. With me, I have Zachary, dental student Stewart.
Dental student, huh? Um, that's all right. I'll take it.
Tyreek Hill
Um,
is walking the sideline without a helmet currently.
yeah, I think he's probably just not going to play the rest of the game. They honestly probably don't need him to win this game. It's going to be an interesting second half, but they probably don't need him to win this game.
It is good for them to see that he's up and walking.
Yep.
Okay. The Patriots come out and stun everyone. I don't know what the spread was, but it was -6 for the Steelers, and the Steelers are ooh. Mitch Trubisky, Connor Hayward had a pass attempt in this. Who the?
That's Cam Hayward's brother. Plays
Okay,
tight end.
Mitch Trubisky actually had one of his worst performances as a starter. He actually has been improved since he's gone to Pittsburgh. I actually normally like him against. I like him for the offense better than Pickett most of the time, but this game was not one for Mitch Trubisky to remember.
I mean, how much would it take? And I don't know. For the Steelers to just go sign Joe Flacco off the Browns practice squad. Come on,
Um,
just do it.
I think he's. Did he get reverted back? The Browns
Yeah.
should just keep starting Flacco. I don't know why they didn't just put him on the active roster. Maybe it's just the way the contract works.
But I mean, he's eligible to sign anywhere at this point. So it's just a formality.
Does he
But
have to want to?
no, no.
Zeke with the nice day. I was, actually watching some fantasy shows for once, um, which led me to a blunder, like it normally does. Not in this league, in a different one. But Zeke was the number one waiver pickup by Matthew Berry's fantasy show.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the Fantasy Football Happy Hour, and he performed.
Zeke, baby. Got it done. Whenever there's no one else in the way, Zeke can get it done. Yeah, look good. He looked fresh. Um, looks good for them. Looks like Miami's in the red zone.
They are tackle for loss. Raheem Mostert on a counter reverse style play.
Oh,
Second
yeah.
and goal. Big run by DeVito. Did he just fall into the end zone? No, down to the one. Big run.
Vito.
Past Devon A Chain down to the 3. 2 games at once while doing this podcast is a little debilitating. Did you see the post of Tommy DeVito's agent on the sideline with him pregame?
No.
You have to see it. Let me see if I can pull it up.
DeVito.
Continuing on, the Buccaneers and Falcons play a nice game, and the Bucs take care of business. Everyone in the NFC South is below 500. Drake London with the monster game out of nowhere. Once again, Bijan Robinson is productive in the second half. In the first half, it's like they're kind of pussyfooting around, and then they figure it out.
I think that's the second week in a row you use that term.
Pussyfooting?
Yeah. But by the way,
I do a very particular vocabulary where I say same style of words pretty often.
That was one of the bets that mattered last week. You laid the 2.5 points for the Falcons. So, oh god,
That's Tommy
Hitman,
DeVito's agent.
Hitman. That was one of the bets that mattered last week. I took that one down plus 2.5 for the Bucks.
Oh, you had the Bucks?
Yeah. By the way,
right,
please tell me you clicked on my Twitter link on the Facebook page about Arthur Smith.
No, I was concerned you were hacked, so I
know
not.
it is not a hack. It just would not like share this like the thumbnail. It is awesome. It's a total diss on Arthur Smith, using the "You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch," but it's "You're a mean one, Arthur Smith. You
Can you pull it up?
really are an ass." Yeah, keep going. I'll find it and we'll
You
have
could
a
just
little.
share screen.
Yep, it is one of the most cinematic masterpieces I've seen this year.
Let's see. Drake London, monster game. Kyle Pitts finds the end zone. I'm sure he was sat in most places because of he's not really done much. He did fall into the end zone. He is very almost never gets in the end zone. Um, Rashad White is sneakily a top 10 fantasy running back this year. I did not see that coming, but it's a fact.
Yeah, he's been one of the safest running back plays all season
Which
long.
is crazy. I guess Baker has a tendency to dump off to running backs. He always has.
Yeah.
Moving on, the Bears 28, Lions 13. The Lions dropped 2 out of the last 3, I believe, and they're showing some vulnerabilities. I didn't see any highlights from this game, but DJ Moore finds the end zone 2 times. Jahmyr Gibbs rips off a couple big runs, which is cool to see. And Amon-Ra St. Brown gets shut down, which is really bad for a lot of people.
Can you
I'm
see
sure.
the full screen?
Yeah, go ahead.
We'll see if it plays the sound. I don't know how it'll
It
do it.
should.
Smith, really? Oh,
Is it playing through my speakers?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay.
I can hear it.
you're a dick. Throw the ball to any player unless his name is Kyle Pitts, Arthur Smith. The South Division is terrible. That's the only reason you're 6-6.
Targets is the most misunderstood thing in the National Football League. Let the fantasy guys worry about that.
You're a monster, Arthur Smith. You really are a snake. If you want to run the football, then why would you draft Drake, for fuck's sake? Between this and Jonnu Smith, I'm not sure how much more I can take. You're a scoundrel, Arthur Smith. You ruined my whole year. Did Bijan fuck your wife? Is that why you love Ty Algier? I'm in tears. Forget fantasy football. Not playing your best players is a way to end your career.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
I feel like he
wonderful.
could have made it a little bit more musical, but the lyrics are pretty nice.
Yeah. Great piece of cinnamon. Cinnamon. Oh, I can't even talk right now, but great piece of work. For them. That's a
Speaking of piece of work, Arthur Smith.
piece of work. God, and he's not
All
gonna
right.
get fired either. We'll continue on.
The Fighting Jake Brownings take care of the Indianapolis Colts, which was a kind of weird one because in the beginning, earlier in the day when I was actually paying attention, that is before halftime, I was like, man, Gardner and those Colts, they sure do look good.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jake Browning.
Yeah, Jake Browning does Jake Browning things. He's playing like he's been there before. Good for them. Little slow. Chase Brown with the big day. The rookie out of Illinois
He's a rookie.
Yep.
Okay. I confuse him with another one of the running backs that they've had in the past then. But he looked explosive.
Yeah, he's the rookie out of Illinois. The other running backs we've had are Chris Evans and Travion Williams. But yeah, he's been looking explosive. Nice back-to-back games, honestly. So kind of watch out for that. Splitting a little bit of time.
Limited touches.
Yeah, limited touching, but that's kind of looking forward to next year as well.
DeVito on the run again.
DeVito.
Or is that a replay? Yeah, it's a replay. Sorry. My bad.
No, you're good.
Okay. Jake Browning just kind of spread the ball all over the place. Nobody really had a monster day. T. Higgins did have 2 big catches. It was a Joe Mixon game, which it will continue to be as long as Jake Browning is under center.
I believe that as well. Yeah. Which tell
A
me bats are
hampered-
like crazy.
a hampered by injury Trevor Lawrence, and a thin team of the Jacksonville Jaguars on offense struggled to get the victory against the Browns. The Browns defense is elite.
Joe
and
Flacco.
This was the Browns were favored in this one, and they should have been.
Yeah, Joe Flacco turning back the clock, man. He's back
45 passes. Who is the offensive coordinator of the Browns? It doesn't matter who the quarterback is; they're throwing it 50 times a game.
It's Kevin Stefanski. I mean,
he's the offensive coordinator.
well, he's the head coach.
So was this is the Kirk Cousins offense when Cousins was throwing 50 times a game?
God, it's like I played in a loser out situation, basically in another league. I had to make the playoffs. I had Sam Howell on bye, and I roll out Joe Flacco in a 6-point in a 6-point per touchdown league, and he scores 28 points to get me the dub. Oh man, I love Joe Flacco, man.
That's how we used to say his name.
Flacco.
Or Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco. Yeah. Good game overall. Fun one to watch. It went back and forth. But the Browns do get it done. They're pushing to the playoffs. It'd be what if, Joe Flacco versus the Ravens in the playoffs? Oh man, that would just be a fun thing to watch.
Yeah, it would be. What is it with Elijah Moore and only catching half of his targets every week? I don't get it.
What do you get for mediocre players?
Travis Etienne's day is saved with the touchdown. Like I keep saying, I have watched quite a bit of Jaguars football this year, and he's starting to look pretty run down because they've been pounding the rock with him earlier in the year. He did go into this one with a chest injury, ankle.
Yeah, he's just banged up. I think it's
Elbow?
still ribs.
I don't even know. But he looked better in this one. He found the edge a couple times.
My elbow.
Yeah. I almost think ETN needs another bye week to get back to where he was at the beginning of the season.
That ain't gonna happen unless they wrap up a playoff spot and rest in week 18.
It was another Dallas Cowboys masturbation sense the session on national television.
They have the division
close the gap in the division.
They have the division lead.
So they must have the tiebreaker in division wins because I think they split with the Eagles.
Yeah, which means the 49ers are the 1 seed.
Are they right now?
Yeah.
Oh, because they have the tiebreaker. That happened fast.
Oh.
The Eagles slipped a little bit. I would expect that they get a get-right game somewhere in here.
That's crazy. The Eagles now fall from
the
Eagles fall from 1 to 5 because the division
playoff seeds. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
AJ Brown was very good in this one. He was catching literally everything.
Yeah.
Mostly against the sideline. DeAndre Swift, he got banged up last week, and he did nothing. As instead of throwing to the running backs, Jalen Hurts just chose to scramble in this game.
Yeah, they'll get it going again. It's gonna be real interesting to see who's gonna win that division now. Because obviously they're tied, but the odds are the Eagles will still get it done. They got a weaker schedule the rest of the way.
Yeah. So this game brings us to my blunder. I decided to bench Cooper Kupp this week because he hasn't really done much. And then he goes on to score 29 points because of bonuses.
He was also in that Joe Flacco lineup for me.
And I'm playing the best fantasy football team I've seen assembled in my work league.
Yikes.
In a 2-week playoff.
Oh, yeah. Fuck 2-week playoffs, man.
Yeah. If it was 1 week, I actually would have pulled it off because we'll get to that in a second. But so I started Brandon Cooks instead against the weak Eagles secondary. Yeah. So I left 20 points on the bench.
That's getting too smart, Dalton.
Yeah, I know. But you see what happened was I started watching fantasy shows. and then I got a little cute because I needed to get risky against this guy.
Yeah, not that risky. Your risk is hoping Cooper Cup goes back to Cooper Cup form. That's a better realistic option.
Cooper Cup has been under double digits for so many weeks in a row. I was over it, so I wanted to play into the really good matchup.
I get that, but that's a tough one.
Yep. So anyway, the Buffalo Bills win in a interesting game where Patrick Mahomes just loses his mind on the sideline.
Lost it.
A magnificent last play gets called back because of a Kadarius Toney offsides, which he clearly was offsides, but I'm guessing I didn't watch the game. I'm guessing it was a late call.
I don't know when they threw the flag, but he was clearly offsides. I get the frustration in that, but Kadarius Toney, got to do better, man. Like, you have so much potential, man. First round draft pick. He's fun to watch.
We watched him live. We watched him torch the Dallas secondary.
Yeah, like he just can't get it together. Tyreek Hill's back in the game.
Oh, is he? Rashee Rice is a wide receiver 1. If you have not already been starting him as such, he is. And Mahomes is probably not a quarterback 1 the rest of the way. Maybe he turns it around for the last couple of weeks, but if you have other options, you don't have to start him.
It might be more of a matchup situation based on what kind of.
I don't think their schedule's very good the rest of the week for quarterbacks, but
they have the Patriots next week.
Not good.
And then I'm sure they have.
I don't remember either. James Cook is the wide receiver 1 for the the Bills right now. So that's cool.
The offensive coordinator change, they've definitely gotten James Cook more involved after Wisenhunt got fired. No. I don't remember. No, Dorsey got fired. Dorsey? Yeah, Ken Dorsey got fired. And now Joe Brady's the OC. So
I picked up James Cook in my work league. So sitting Cooper Cup for Brandon Cooks actually it wasn't too bad because I did have James Cook. For some reason he was available.
Hey, it can't get any worse. I benched Breece Hall in a Vegas league this week.
All right. New Orleans, I did not even realize they won this game because I stopped paying attention to them as their offense was not really doing much. 28-6. The Panthers are going to get the number 1 pick again, but wait a second. No, they're not because they traded it away, right?
Yep, to Chicago. It says, I saw a meme. Pittsburgh single-handedly gave the Bears the number 1 pick again this year because the 2 teams vying for that number 1 pick were the Patriots and the Cardinals. And consequently, the Cardinals and the Patriots beat the Steelers the last 2 weeks.
Out of nowhere, Adam Thielen is productive again. Miles Sanders works his way in to this one. It was a lot of running the ball, apparently. They just ran a lot of plays. Chuba Hubbard had a 33% completion percentage.
Chuba Hubbard?
Sorry, Bryce Young. A little over 33%, 13 for 36.
Yikes. It's not going to get much better next year.
Maybe. You never know.
Well, the hope is that, they have a lot of free agent money. They're going to try to go. I would not be surprised if T. Higgins goes to Carolina.
Oh, that's a good fit.
As a free agent and, a number 1 receiver for him. But that's what they're hoping for. Like T. Higgins has to decide to go there. He's a free agent, so it's not like
they did try to give the ball to Jonathan Mingo, who everyone's been talking about. He just could not connect.
Yeah.
With the lack of Taysom Hill, it brought some more players into the Saints offense, which was interesting. Jamal Williams, who I really loved in the preseason, got a lot of work. And so the ghost of Jimmy Graham found the end zone.
I saw a stat where I think Jimmy Graham's caught 4 passes this year and 3 of them are touchdowns.
Big pass to Devon Shane.
That bad?
No. I want him to catch it.
Oh, he didn't catch it.
No. He kind of slowed up on the middle of his route and threw it to him like he was Tyreek.
Oh,
The Jets get the surprising victory against the Texans. I'm sure that most of the money was on the Texans side of this.
yeah. Zach Wilson goes out in a rainstorm and goes for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns and no picks, man. I benched pretty much every Jet I've owned in across a dozen leagues. I played Brees Hall in ours, but otherwise I benched Garrett Wilson. I benched Brees Hall in one matchup. Yeah. And I mean, maybe paid a price for sure with Brees Hall. Solid day for both Brees Hall and Garrett Wilson. Everyone else is kind of mediocre. But we have seen with Zach Wilson, he has been getting Garrett Wilson and Brees Hall the ball. So expect to see that. I mean, it's night and day. I mean, we saw multiple games of Tim Boyle and Trevor Siemian. Zach Wilson is light years better than those guys. And Zach Wilson's not fantastic, but he's light years better than those guys. And it shows easily.
Nico Collins gets knocked out of this one. I'm not really sure on his status. And Davis Mills Davis Mills gets thrown in there because CJ Stroud goes into concussion protocol, right?
Yep, correct. He's probably going to be out
tackle.
this week. Yep. And then Nico was out with a calf injury, which is what sidelined him a few weeks ago. So in the past 3 weeks, so the past 2 weeks, they've lost Stroud, Nico, and Tank. So it's a tough pill to swallow for Texans fans at the moment.
Which they still have a shot at the postseason?
Ew.
Okay. Oh man, the Titans are worse than I thought they were. 4-8. I did not realize that.
They bad.
There is a highlight I meant to watch today, because I just want to know what happened. 62,626 people watched in Las Vegas as the Minnesota Vikings won 3-0.
Yeah, man. That's just terrible. I don't get it. Josh Dobbs gets benched for Nick Mullins.
He got turned back into a pumpkin.
He turned into a pumpkin twice this year. One in Arizona and one in Minnesota. So yeah, that experience is over. Justin Jefferson comes back and then immediately leaves the game, ends up going to the hospital from a hospital pass from Josh Dobbs, gets obliterated. But
he forgot his 4th birthday.
Yeah, so it's gonna be he's day to day, but
probably out for
they're probably just gonna sit him. They still have an outside shot at the playoffs, but they're gonna go Nick Mullins, at least for now.
Beautiful pass from Levis. Sorry, distracting.
No, I mean they're just kind of moving on. The Raiders, Josh Jacobs gets hurt. Aiden O'Connell's he's a rookie. It's tough to get the ball places. But the Vikings somehow get it done and win 3-0. I haven't seen a 3-0 game in a dome in ever.
I don't know that I've ever seen a 3-0 game.
I remember
wasn't there like that blizzard game, like way bad blizzard?
The only 3-0 game I truly remember as a fan was a complete like monsoon between Pittsburgh and Miami. It was like a Monday night football game or a Sunday night football game. It was prime time. And it was just a absolute disaster of a game. It was in Pittsburgh at the old Heinz Field on grass. I remember it was 3-0 and it was bad.
I think I remember a Bills game that was in so much snow that you like couldn't even watch it on TV.
Oh yeah.
And it was still higher scoring than this.
Yeah.
The Rams and Ravens take a classic game to overtime in the 11 o'clock window. It was a punt return touchdown by Tylan Wallace. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. To steal it. The Rams offense was potent. Odell Beckham catches a huge pass into the end zone. Zay Flowers has a nice day, which we love to see. Lamar Jackson, a ton of yards.
What a game.
After everyone was criticizing him.
Yep. What a game. The Ravens get it done in overtime. But the most important part, I had +7 on that game. So, and since it went to overtime, either way. So,
Yep. Okay. The Denver Broncos keep winning. They put the nail in the coffin of the Chargers. Austin Eckler does find the end zone, but what did he do? Probably nothing once again. No, he had 100 yards. Exactly.
Mhm.
Actually, a nice fantasy day. I do believe that, why is he not popping up? Keenan Allen got hurt in this one.
he did briefly, yeah.
He should be fine. Cortland Sutton, I believe this is his 10th touchdown. We talk about it every week. It is his 10th touchdown. 53 catches, 699 yards, and 10 touchdowns. That's like a
He said
tight end stat line.
He said 60 yards or a touchdown in like 10 straight games.
Yeah, he's so great. So consistent. Javonte Williams finds the end zone to have a productive day, probably RB2 or maybe RB1.
That's his first touchdown of the season.
Nice. He came from North Carolina, right?
Correct. He played with Michael Carter in North Carolina.
And he was supposed to be the better of the two. It's turning out that way.
Yes.
Okay. The 49ers hold on to beat the Seahawks 28-16. Spread on this one was 13.5 for the 49ers, which they do not hit.
That's what it closed at. After Geno Smith was ruled out, it jumped pretty severely.
Oh, he was ruled out.
Yep. So when we made the bet, it was a 10.5 point spread, and I had the Niners. I went 3-0 this week, baby.
I really need to start writing these down because I don't remember these at all. And then you could just be saying whatever you want. But
no, I go back.
I trust you.
Yeah. It did close at like 13. 13.5 after Geno was ruled out. He was a game time decision. Obviously 13 didn't cover. So, but 10.5 did. But
DK Metcalf gets ejected from this game. Deebo Samuel has another monster performance.
Everybody
just feels like it sometimes. Brandon Ayuk with a nice day. McCaffrey with a nice day. Brock Purdy continues to put in a case for why he should be the MVP over Dak.
I don't think he's going to be the MVP.
No, it's I'm shocked when people say it's going to be Dak, but I guess he has been that good. I honestly have not even been really paying attention to his statistics this year.
Yeah, I mean, I wish and there hasn't been a non-QB won it since 2008, which was when Adrian Peterson won it.
It should be Tyreek Hill.
It should be Tyreek Hill. Like, honestly, if he gets hurt and he doesn't play much the rest of the season, that changes it. But Purdy, Dak's been playing really good. Doesn't mean Hurts can't get it back. It's the same thing with McCaffrey. McCaffrey's he's on pace for 2,000 plus yards. But yeah, it's a really finicky award this year. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't know who's going to win the MVP. Purdy winning MVP would be absolutely insane. Going from Mr. Irrelevant to taking a team to the NFC Championship game and then coming to win the MVP in his second year is just wild.
Yeah, that would be pretty wild.
Yeah.
All right. I seal up 2/3 of the Triple Crown this week.
Yeah, keep talking.
Well, I'm just telling. I'm not a liar.
I know. The last one is the hardest to get.
That's true. I've never been the league number one. I don't think.
I don't think so either.
I don't think I've ever had the most points or been the number one seed ever.
Yeah.
So that's been pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I have to thank my running back options as well as my 3 target monsters. And Cortland Sutton scoring a touchdown every goddamn week.
Yeah. You might have to get a Cortland Sutton jersey. But I don't
that would be something, but I would never wear that. So
yeah, you can't go back-to-back CD Lambs. So
no, I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch, but I already have an idea of which direction I would go. But
Yeah. On the other hand, Blaster puts up the worst performance in Gem City Gridiron history. Yeah.
he didn't have to make it that easy for me, but
Tommy
he did start Macaulay
DeVito.
Culkin.
DeVito finds Hodgins touchdown.
Yep. Oh, you're a little bit behind me.
Yeah, I'm not watching the game. I'm just getting updates. DeVito.
Okay. He did start Macaulay Culkin again.
Yeah.
With no Aaron Jones, no Isaiah Pacheco.
Nico Collins gets hurt. Yeah, just a rough day at the office for
Why he didn't start McKinnon, I will never know, but it wouldn't have helped him anyway.
It would have got him out of the worst point total ever. But that's
true.
The 2 seed on the line, Dark Horse is only up
it's so close.
1.4 points. If Stewart takes down Dark Horse, his brother in the
It's
Brink
like
Bowl,
4-yard catch is all it takes.
Yep. And there's about a quarter to go. So if Dark Horse loses this matchup, he's going to fall to the 3 seed because I take care of business once again. 3-game winning streak into the playoffs against Celine. I play Justin Fields this week. A nice game from Breece Hall. I still got a few guys going tonight, but I play Justin Fields over Patrick Mahomes this week. So get a nice outing there.
We don't actually know who you're going to get your playoff matchup, do we?
No, it's going to be Patrick, Drew, or Heath from what the records say, but I don't know.
I get a rematch with Blaster.
You get to run it back next week, it looks like. Because all the 7 and 6 teams and the 6 and 7 teams won. You drop Blaster to 6 and 8, and he sneaks in the playoffs.
If I lose to Blaster next week, I change my team name for the next 5 years to Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin. All right. You heard it here first.
Put it on the board.
Cole, in a doesn't really matter situation, Cole takes down Luke. Luke is sliding at the moment, losing 2 in a row going into the playoffs. He has the fighting Joshua Dobbs in his lineup this week, does not get it done. Nice day from James Cook, Isaiah Likely, Brandon Ayuk, Jahmyr Gibbs. But overall,
he could probably clean that bench up.
Yeah, you would think so. But Cole
touchdown. Westbrook or something like that.
Nicky Keene Westbrook.
Yeah.
Nick Akine.
Nick Westbrook Akine.
Nick Westbrook Akine. Drew gets off this night after losing 4 in a row after starting 6 and 3, drops to 6 and 7, and gets the win at the buzzer basically, and gets him to 7 and 7, drops Heath down to 7 and 7 as well. Heath is not going to come back from this deficit, 24 points in the 4th quarter. So
I think Akine dropped the ball.
So again, it looks like Drew, Heath, and Drew
Blaster. Are you talking about the tied teams?
The tied teams are Drew and Heath.
Drew, Heath, and Patrick, because we get into that one next.
Yep.
Patrick downs Cody Sackett. Cody misses the playoffs for only the 2nd time since this league began.
3rd time.
3rd time? Okay.
Yep.
That feels like a lot less.
Yeah, he's
3 time.
He's missed the playoffs. The only 2 times he missed the playoffs are the times he's actually won. And then this year he actually loses and does not make the playoffs. Sackett loses. Was 5 and 6 and lost 3 in a row to lose out to not make the playoffs.
Ouch.
So it looks like in the losers bracket, we're going to have 2 5 and 9 teams and 2 4 and 10 teams.
Right. So it actually ended up being pretty even from 5 down to 12 when it didn't look like that was going to be the case. Yeah. Everyone's within 3 games of each other.
Mhm.
from 5 to 12.
So what I think is going to happen here, let's see here.
You're gonna try to pull up schedules to see what the tiebreaker is.
Yeah, that was originally
The Brink Bowl is still not over. The Packers are on offense right now, I believe.
yeah, so it looks like Patrick, Heath, and Drew are the ones that are going to be tied. So let's see what Patrick's record is against those two. Because if he has not won a game against those two, he's going to be the 7. So Patrick, come on down here. Let's see. Patrick lost to Drew,
What's his team name again, so I can look at this while you're doing it?
the Filthy Casual. He lost to Drew and beat Heath. So he is 1-1. Heath obviously lost to Patrick. And so Heath is actually the loser. He went 0-2 against those guys. Actually,
So
0-3. So Heath is going to be the 7.
So
Because
it's looking like either Jaden Reed catches one more ball, and you get Heath, or Jaden Reed doesn't catch one more ball, and you get the 6 seed.
I get the 6 seed, which would be Patrick versus Drew, right?
Well, it's when everyone's tied, it's
head to head against
record.
Yeah, it's collective record, but Heath is 0-3 in that matchup, so Heath would drop to the 7. And Drew is going to be, I believe, 2-1 in those.
Tyreek Hill, come on, dude.
So
Get off the field.
So what I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be you at 1, myself at 2, Dark Horse at 3, Luke at 4. I think Drew goes to 5. Drew goes to 5.
I don't know.
Patrick
We'll
at
find
6.
out in the morning.
Patrick at 6. And Heath at 7 and Blaster at 8 is what my
So Heath is probably for sure the 7, based on the fact that he's 0-3.
He's going to lose to Drew twice and he lost to Patrick. So he's the 7. So it really determines the 5 and 6, which would be, which I think Drew
to go to points after that.
Well, Drew, the thing is, Drew's going to beat Heath twice. That gives him 2 wins against those 2 opponents, whereas Patrick does not have that record.
So Drew's going to move up to the 5 more than likely and play your brother.
Yeah, that's a week 4-5 matchup. Man, you have Blaster, Luke, and Drew on your side, but hey, you got to win 3 in a row no matter what.
That's
people
right.
People that make the playoffs, you got to win 3 in a row. Got to have a good 3 weeks. I mean, obviously, you did it last year. You came in as the 8 seed, took down Sackett as the 1 seed. By the way, I mean, you got the target on your back. Last year, Sackett won 11 straight going into the playoffs. You've won 7 straight games.
I have.
You won 7 straight. You were you're going to be 11-3. You were 4-3, and you've rattled off.
This is easily the best team I've ever had.
And yeah, you have in your schedule here. Let's see.
Hold on. How many receptions do I have on this team?
I don't know. So
a lot.
You started out 3-0. You beat Drew, Blaster, Luke, and then lost to Garrett, lost to Sackett, beat Heath, lost to Patrick. So you were 4-3. Then you beat Lean, Brinkman, Cole, me, Heath, Sackett, Blaster. And you've scored 180, 156, 190, 136, 149, and 163. And now 150 this week, roughly. Or 138 this
140.
week. Yeah. So like you've been on a pretty good run. So, but with that, the target comes on your back.
There's only one game where I scored under 100. So that's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah. Like you got the target on your
But
back.
Jaden Reed just got the catch, I think.
Did he?
It might have been incomplete. I can't tell.
Man. I don't know who I want to play though. Like I mean, Heath is kind of falling at the moment. Honestly, I wanted Blaster, but
It was incomplete.
I mean, he's still got a shot.
He's on the sideline right now.
But either way,
Anyway.
Yeah.
Quick little preview. I guess we just did it. No more bye weeks, so that's cool.
Nope. Just a reminder. So the teams that are in the toilet bowl, it looks like it's going to be. Remember, it's a 2-week semifinal to prove you're not two of the shittiest teams in the league. So I believe it's going to be Sackett versus Lean, or Sackett versus Brinkman. I don't know how the tiebreakers are going to work.
Well, there's 2 5 and 10s.
There's 2 5 and 9s and 2 4 and 10s. So yeah, actually, it'd actually be 3. If Brinkman wins, that gets him also to 5 wins. So that would put Cole in the last place. But either way, it's a 2-week semifinal. The 1 seed in the losers bracket versus the 4 seed, the 2 versus the 3 seed. You have 2 weeks. It will say you are on a bye next week, but we will manually add the point differential to the team that is leading. So 2-week semifinal for the toilet bowl, and then a 1-week loser for the toilet seat. But even though the person I think is going to lose, probably not going to play next year. So
Tyreek Hill is back in torching folks, and that's not okay.
But 3 weeks to go, everyone. Home stretch. Home stretch.
I feel like there's bets.
Bets.
I feel like there's something we're missing.
Yeah. Bets.
It is your week.
It is my week, and I heads up on the point totals.
You're ahead by a lot because I think you swept me again.
I did. I have gone 3. Wow, I've gone 6. I've gone 11-1 the last 3 weeks.
It's over.
It is running total myself 20, Dalton 11. So, and with me potentially having another season long with the 49ers taking over.
Missed field goal for the Packers kicker, who I don't know. Man, the Raiders are favored by 3.
I know.
Ethan Stick versus Aiden O'Connell.
On Thursday Night Football. All right. Okay.
Where are you thinking?
Where am I thinking? Looking.
This -3.5 for the Bengals is a pretty juicy line.
All right. Buffalo Bills are favored at home by 2 against Dallas.
Let me look at Dallas's remaining schedule real quick. I can't do it. You're pigeonholing me. Give me the Cowboys +2.5.
It's +2.
Okay.
I'll take Buffalo -2. I'm gonna take, and this might be a trap, but we'll see. I'm gonna go Detroit -5 at home against the Broncos.
Okay.
And then finally, we are going to go with the Las Vegas Raiders -3 at home against Ethan Stick on Thursday Night Football?
I want the Raiders.
Okay. I'll take the Chargers +3.
I hope Keenan Allen plays in this game because I could really use him.
Especially
But if they
in the
rest him,
playoffs. But
if
it's
they
the
rest him
playoffs.
in him,
But
if they rest him this week and he's fully healthy for the week after, that's fine too.
You got to get past the first week, bro. That's
I
like
know,
12
but,
targets off your table.
Yeah, he's been a little bit slower. Expect a lot of Chargers coaches to get fired in the offseason.
Yeah, the head coach especially.
Yep. Let's see. If I'm missing Keenan Allen, what do? I do get Jonathan Taylor back at some point, I believe.
Potentially, yeah.
Which would be really nice because ETN is so touchdown dependent right now.
Sorry, I'm typing the bets in right now.
All right. Oh, that's pretty easy. I would just plug Odell Beckham Jr. in, who's got like a 25% target share right now with
You're gonna play Odell
Mark
Beckham
Andrews.
in the playoffs, man.
With no Keenan Allen, I would.
You fucking crazy, man.
He's got double-digit fantasy points in like 3 straight weeks.
Bro. All right, let's check in on the Brink Bowl. Still sitting.
Well, the Packers are not on the field.
Man. Crazy.
It feels like this one's going to be sealed, but you never know.
No, yeah, they can just get a stinker. And Dark Horse gets the 2, I get the 3. I mean, that's what it is.
Says that Brinkman is going to win. The projection has Brinkman scoring like 2 more points.
Yeah, it projected
1.9.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be either way. Frank Garrett's had a really good year. If he does get the win, he goes in on a 5-game winner as well. But it would be nice for Stewart to spoil a one of the seeds. Either way, Garrett and I are on the opposite side of the bracket. Whether we're the 2 or the 3, there's the likelihood of us playing the semifinals is obviously very high. It just flip-flops our opponents. I mean, obviously Patrick's one of the hottest teams in the league right now. So, trying to avoid Patrick is something that we should all be trying to worry about right now. Patrick's got a good roster, and Joe Mixon's coming on, Alvin Kamara's coming on.
No, Taysom Hill is good for Kamara
Mm-hmm.
because Hill eats into Kamara's stuff.
Looks like the Packers are back on the field.
Looks like it's a punt from Jamie Gillen. Yeah.
Man, it's time, man. It coming down 3 weeks to go.
If this doesn't go to commercial, Jaden Reed is also the returner, which is funny.
That doesn't count for us.
No, it doesn't. Is this going to go to commercial? I kind of hope it doesn't go to commercial, and then we can watch this drive before we.
Yeah, we can watch it off air. We can watch it off air too, but.
All right, it looks like it's going to commercial. This has been an episode.